the few companies who can make it into something special when they release a game. There's a little company known as Blizzard, and there's another company known as BioWare. BioWare has just released Dragon Age.
Yeah.
You played it.
I played it. I played it.
50 hours, I hear.
Yeah, I'm not done yet.
Okay.
Let's just say that the Dragon Age is kind of a modern version of Baldur's Gate and Baldur's Gate 2. It's actually, and I'm really happy about this, that BioWare looked beyond, even way back before like Knights of the Old Republic. You can say that Mass Effect is very, very much based on the KOTOR games, while this is more based on, for example, Baldur's Gate 2 or Neverwinter Nights even. Probably more like Neverwinter Nights, to be honest. As usual, the storyline is the most important part in the BioWare game. They've done it again. It's kind of, in many ways, it's cliched. There's actually been a couple of cliche shards on the internet about BioWare games. Never mind that, it's a very gripping storyline. You have 6 different backgrounds to choose from. If you're a human noble, or like an elf who comes from the city or from the woods, or if you are a dwarf noble or dwarf commoner, you get to choose between all of those, and the storyline changes accordingly.
Okay.
Like I played as a human noble, and the further I get into the game, people are referencing my background, my parents, what I've done, and it just goes in there.
I have to admit though that it really doesn't come as a surprise that it's a good story, considering that it's BioWare. But story is mostly half of an RPG, and combat is the other half. So how is the combat?
Now, that's kind of tricky to talk about the combat. I've been playing it on the Xbox 360, and there's also a PC version. The PC version is far superior when it comes to combat. It does get, you can create quite advanced tactical AIs for your characters, kind of like you could do in Final Fantasy 12 if you play that. And so you just focus on your one character that you want to play as during the battles. Or you can also pause, give them new orders, and make them do what you want them to do, or attack different enemies and which abilities to use and stuff like that. And in the PC version, though, you can zoom out and you get this more like Baldur's Gate kind of top view of what's going on. You can't do that on the 360. It can get quite chaotic at times. It works, you get used to it. If you've only played the 360 version, you might not even think about it. I'd actually tell 360 players that try not to look at screenshots from the PC version, because you'll get really sad. Because it's the PC version is prettier, is more advanced, and it has all of those like more classic RPG elements in it that works better than the 360 version. I'm still having fun on the 360. Yeah, the story is the same. Everything is the same, more or less. Just the controls.
I was going to say because you must be having fun, because to my amazement, I would say you've actually played close to 50 hours now.
I'm officially over 50 hours now.
That's a lot of gameplay.
And this is something that I've actually not finished Dragon Age. I'm just so into it. I love that game. It's for a guy like me, and for people who love role-playing games and storylines told through a computer game. Dragon Age has it all. It's like, for me, that's the game of the year in many ways. That it's amazingly good. If you like BioWare's older games, don't miss Dragon Age.
But there has been some critique of Dragon Age, mostly that the story, some people didn't think that the story was as good as some of the previous games. Have you encountered anything that you would like to have seen done better?
Well, yeah, the storyline might not be the most revolutionary aspect of Dragon Age, but the characters are so good, and it just, many cliches perhaps, but you feel for the characters. It's so mashed into the gameplay that it just works excellently. You can have there are certain things in the design, like all the blood. There's a lot of blood. And Dragon Age is all over you after a battle. The first fight in the game as a human noble is against a couple of rats in a cellar. There's blood over it. I bashed those poor rats to bloody pulps, and then kind of mashed them into my face because there's blood everywhere.
It
and
seems
that's
kind of
rough. It's kind of like a
gratuitous.
Yeah, it's kind of like we wanted to be adults, so we put in a lot of blood. Some people don't really like how the sex works in the game. There's actually sex in it. There's prostitutes, all that kind of. There's all that kind of stuff. Transsexual elf prostitutes. Anyone? But it's. For me, it's an adult game. It's made for adults.
And that comes across in the story.
Yeah, I think so. I'm 100% satisfied. I love Dragon Age, and I'll be playing it probably until January next year when Mass Effect 2 is released.
Oh yeah.
And then I'll never have to go outside again. It's awesome.
Very well.